Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Madison. My name is Logan Walsh, and I serve as a worship associate. Today I am joined by the Reverend Kelly Crocker and the worship team of Linda Warren, Daniel Carnes, and Stephen Gregorius. At First Unitarian Society, we question boldly, listen humbly, grow spiritually, act courageously, and love unambiguously. If you are visiting us today, welcome. We are so very glad you are with us. If you would like more information about First Unitarian Society, please stop by the welcome table located in the Commons. We hope you will also be able to stay and join us for coffee hour immediately after service, also in the Commons. For those connecting with us virtually today, we are glad that you are with us as well. And we hope that you will take a moment to see the announcement slides shown briefly after today's service to learn about upcoming programs and activities. And also, please join our climate justice team for a talking circle today at 10:15 in the landmark space. Feel free to bring your coffee and your tea with you. This is also our first month with our new name tags, courtesy of the Great Name Tag Project. If you are among the nearly 400 people who have submitted forms for a new name tag, we thank you, and we hope that you are loving yours. If you haven't yet submitted a form for your new name tag that will include your preferred pronouns, you can still do so after service in the Commons. You'll find more information there on the use of pronouns and why it matters. You can also speak with a member of our welcoming congregation team there if you have any questions or want to get your old name tag back for sentimental reasons. And now, I invite you to join me in a moment of silence to center ourselves and bring ourselves fully into this time as we join together once again in community.
Hear, Here is where you can lay it down. Lay down all that you have carried, the weight of the world that has rounded your back, leaving you aching and exhausted.
Here is where healing begins, where burdens are set down, and alongside one another's, their magnitude does not seem as great.
Here is where the door is thrown open and the light can lift away the shadows, and what was hidden can now be seen.
Here is where you can rest, where nothing is expected, but that you bring all of who you are into the presence of the holy and of this loving community.
Come, let us worship together. And we invite you to rise now in all the ways that we do and join together in our words of affirmation. Deep calls unto deep. Joy calls unto joy. Light calls unto light. Let the kindling of this flame rekindle in us the inner light of love, of peace, of hope. And as one flame lights another, nor grows the less, we pledge ourselves to be bearers of the light wherever we are. And we invite you to take a moment now to turn and greet those around you.
We could, yeah. And we now invite you all to please continue standing in body and or in spirit and join us for our opening hymn in the Teal Hymnal, number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. Please be seated.
And I invite anyone who would like to come up closer for our story to come on up. Hello. How's your week?
Good. Do you like my fox ears?
Let me see your fox ears. I like your fox ears a lot.
My friend Amy gave them
Yeah.
me one day.
Hi, guys.
But I think that headbands are supposed to be bendy.
I think so. Yeah. Hey, staying warm?
Yeah.
It's been so cool. Ooh, very cool. The cold went right through your snowsuit. I know. I don't think my toes have been warm in a solid 2 weeks.
Yeah, mine either.
Yours, I know. I can't warm up my toe. Yours either? I know. What do we, yeah?
The other day, it was a very dramatic day because we went on a field trip with a few of my friends to the zoo.
Uh-huh.
And on the way back, we had to get off of the bus
Oh my goodness.
for reasons that I will not say because it's kind of personal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and my friend Mabel was crying because it was so cold, so Miss Carrie had to pick us up. Miss
Yeah,
Carrie
it's
works
so
at
cold.
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I have something up here. Do you know what this is?
Your travel bag.
It's a bag. It's a suitcase. Now, why would I bring a suitcase to church? Because I live here. Why would I bring a suitcase? Inside voice, inside voice. Why would I bring a suitcase to you all this morning? Because I live here. It feels that way, doesn't it? I have a suitcase because I will be going away from you all for a while.
Oh yeah, I think my dad told me about that.
No, not 7 years. I promise it's not 7 years. That would be a really long time. You'd be in college in 7 years, right? 80,000 years. That's how old I am. So I am going away for 6 months. So starting on February 1st, Max said that's so long. I'll be back on August 1st in the summer. I'll be gone for 6 months. And so I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what I'll be doing for those 6 months. If you were going away, if you were going away for 6 months, what would you put in your suitcase? Nothing. You just go. I like this plan. A swimsuit. I don't have a swimsuit in here. It's a little cold for a swimsuit. What would you put in your suitcase if you're going away for 6 months?
Some hats.
An apple. Yeah, food. The Saturday service, kids were all about pack food.
Stuffed animals.
Stuffed animals. I love that.
Pack stinky pants.
Pack some pants. Make sure I have clothes. Yes.
Banana.
A banana.
Oh, so you said
A Christmas tree.
Oh, so you said.
No.
Oh, so you said that you'll be gone for 80,000 million years.
You just need to know that Max handed me a Katie, I have your banana. Thanks. How did you know I didn't have breakfast this morning, right? Okay. You're hysterical. Thank you, Max. Oh my, here's a banana. Get started. I'll just sit here and have a banana in front of all of you. Let me show you what I packed in my suitcase. Oh my goodness. What would you pack, Cleo?
Clothes. And I would leave room for my Christmas present.
Clothes and Christmas presents. Okay, well here, look at this. Do you know what this is? It's a puzzle. Someone gave this to me as a Christmas present years ago. It is still in the plastic. I will do this puzzle. I'm going to do this puzzle.
Years ago?
Here, what's this? It's a cookbook.
My mom would love that.
Your mom would love this cookbook? All right, well, I'll talk to your mom. Maybe we can do some baking. So bake a cookbook. Here, look at these two. Yeah, Justin, it's a gluten-free cookbook and it's really good. And so if we want to talk, you just holler. These are my kids. I'm going to hang out with them with more time. They may not be as excited about that part, but we're going to see how it goes. I am. Here's a book. I'm starting a new program that will hopefully benefit me and all of you. And I have this huge stack of books I have to read. That's one of them. Does anybody know how to play dinosaur rummy?
Yeah, I know how to play woodland rummy.
Woodland rummy? Okay, if anybody wants to play rummy with me during coffee hour, it says ages 5 and up.
Yeah.
I am a little more than 5. I can't figure out this game. So I need 6 months. If anybody can help me during coffee hour.
I can help.
And one last thing. What's this?
He-
There's gonna be so much knitting, guys.
I can't play it because there's
Bonk.
4.
You can't play it with me, Cease, because you're 4. I bet you could figure it out more than me, and I am way more than 4. So I need Logan. Logan, if you could help me with this part. Logan's gonna come around and give all of you one of these hearts. This is the last thing I wanna put in my suitcase, is that I want to take all of you with me in my heart for the next 6 months. A lot's gonna happen in your lives. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss all of you. I can't wait to see you again. What's the symbolism of that, Max? I will see you, I think, August 4th will be my first service back.
Wait, are you gonna be gone?
I have a question.
What, Charlie?
Gone in.
Shh, let me hear Charlie for a sec. What's up, honey? I think it's August 4th. I will be back with you for service on August 4th. But before we sing you out to classes, on your way out, if you could each put one of these hearts in my suitcase so that I'm taking you with me as well. All right, we are going to give Logan a minute to finish with the hearts because Logan is also our hymn leader. So we need Logan up there to sing you out. And if you have a heart, come and put it one at a time here in my suitcase, okay?
Gone in 80,000 million years.
Oh, you can make the world so bright, and you can turn the day from night, and share your gifts and spread your light, and learn what you know.
I had some say, take me with you. I had, that's my favorite, take me with you. For 80,000 million years. So today we continue our service with a precious moment in any congregation's life, the rite of dedication. This is a time when we who are gathered here have the privilege to welcome a young child into our family and religious community. Today it is our cherished assignment to welcome and pledge our care to poet Reagan Bogan. Today, all of us gathered here are more than casual witnesses to life's gifts and nature's marvelous creations. We are all being invited to share the joy which this family has taken in their child and to enter more fully into their lives. I believe in my heart that I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply grateful for this privilege. We continue with this time-honored ritual because children are our present delight. By them, we are reminded of life's small joys and wisdoms. They are the heirs of the work that we have done and are doing. They shall build upon the foundations that we lay. They are the yet unwritten chapter in the story of our faith. Today, we promise Poet and their family our love and support. a listening ear, and a helping hand in times of trial. We pledge to them a community of openness, a place where their beliefs, their doubts, and their questions are received with gentleness and respect, a place of challenge where we continue to point to the ever-open road of possibility. We pledge to give them roots, we give them a tradition to pass on, and we give them a place to come home to. So, if Jackie and Poet and our godparents will come forward. And if you will rise in body or spirit and join in the pledge of dedication that you see on the screen. Hey, Poet. For the gift of childhood, whose innocence, laughter, and curiosity bring hope, joy, and new understanding into our lives, we lift thankful hearts. We welcome Poet into this spiritual community and extend to their parents our love and support in the joys and challenges of caregiving. As this child grows, we will share with them our insights, our values, and our dreams, that they may enjoy the rich benefits of our religious heritage. Please be seated. And now, to the one who stands with their child before us, Jackie Regenbogen. As Poet's parent, it is your privilege and obligation to provide an environment both of security and challenge in which this young soul whom you bring before us today will grow. Do you commit yourself to promote their physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being? Will you respect as well as protect this child and bestow your love as a freely given gift?
Is it I do or I will? I do.
There are several among us today who bear a special relationship to Poet. Our godparents, Arvin Jodato and Daniel Ivanko, Jenny and Dolph DeCuster. Then there are those among us from our own FUS community. Please stand as your names are read. Gail Bliss, Alyssa and Mike Ryanjoy, Winnie and Thea, Anya and Mike Lenow, Owen and Artemis, Monica Steigerwald, and family who have gone to class. And now Poet sponsors as well, Lindsay Hainston, who carried Poet as a gestational carrier. Woo! Thank you, Lindsay. Monty Marsh, Fawn and Dimitri Bilger, Ashley Gibson, Krista Lowe, Oliver DeCuter. Did I forget anybody? All right. To all of you, I ask, do you take upon yourselves the privilege and responsibility to nurture, defend, and support the inherent worth and dignity of this child to whom you bear a special relationship? Will you encourage them to grow in freedom and spirit and to always seek the truth? Finally, will you help them to grow in love for the larger human family and to love and respect the larger community of life to which we all belong? If so, please make this sacred promise by responding, "We will." We will. Thank you. You may be seated. I'm going to reach behind you. Thank you. In the act of dedication, we use the symbolism of water as a sign of our common heritage. There's no suggestion here of a washing away of inherited sin. This child came into the world with the limitations natural to our species, but they arrived innocent. Water here stands for vitality. It is the essence of life, the foundation of being. Its use here reminds us of our common bond with all-embracing, ever-sustaining nature. This is also the water of our community, the water of the world, gathered at our annual water communion service. Its use here reminds us of the ever-sustaining and embracing love of community. Name this child.
Poet Regenbogen.
Poet, this water is cold, I'm sorry. Poet Regenbogen, we dedicate you in the name of truth, the promise of love, and the fellowship of this society. May you be granted clarity of thought, integrity of speech, and a compassionate heart. As a token of their dedication, we give to Poet a rosebud, fragrant symbol of beauty, promise, and love. This rose has no thorns, symbolizing the better world we would give all our children if it were in our power. And while we know that the world is not altogether as lovely as this rosebud, we hope that Poet will learn to recognize the beauty and goodness which does exist, that they will grow in wisdom and compassion, adding their own beauty to the world. Poet, as this flower unfolds in all its natural beauty, so may your life unfold. Also, as a remembrance of their dedication, we give to Poet a blanket, a gift from the members of our Shawl Ministry program. When you see this blanket, may you be reminded of the warmth, the support, the love of this community for your child and your family. Today, we have dedicated this child. May we also dedicate ourselves this day. As we contemplate the miracle of new life, as we renew in our hearts a sense of wonder and joy, may we be stirred to a fresh awareness of the sacredness of life and of the divine promise of childhood. May we pledge to build a community in which our children will grow, surrounded by beauty, embraced by love, and cradled in the arms of peace. May we pass on the light of compassion and courage. May that light burn brightly within us all. If you will join me now in welcoming Poet.
Now let us rise in body and or in spirit for hymn number 34 in the gray hymnal, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire. Though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to all inspire and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess and striving so my love possess, but have not give my love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are free. Please be seated.
In July of 2009, a major Christian denomination held its world conference in Asuncion, Paraguay. Among those in attendance was a Guarani man who had traveled from his remote village in the Chaco to the capital for the first time in his life. He arrived by bus, a nearly 4-hour ride from his isolated village. Upon arrival, he was found sitting by himself in a corner. After nearly an hour had passed, a group of curious church leaders approached him to ask if he needed anything. "No, thank you," he said. "It's just that the ride from my village to here was so fast and furious that I am sitting and waiting for my soul to catch up with the rest of me." Donald Clymer, a professor at Eastern Mennonite University who tells this story, says, "I have shared this illustration in churches, in classrooms, and with individuals, and it always seems to resonate. I think in part it is an appropriate metaphor for the way most of us live our lives. We are left exhausted, not only at the end of a long journey, but at the end of each day, not realizing that our souls are way behind the rest of us. Our culture and our profession send us speeding out of control on a bus to who knows where, and there's no time for our souls to catch up." Now, the other day, while doing the very necessary daily task of sweeping up ridiculous amounts of dog hair at home, a task I can honestly never stay on top of, a Carrie Newcomer song came to mind. Carrie sings, "So I spent the morning sweeping floors, didn't want much more than to do just one thing at a time and call it mine. Come back, come home. I'm gathering the crumbs and the stones, been traveling faster than my soul can go." Now, perhaps the language of allowing your soul to catch up with the rest of you isn't language that works. The author and Benedictine sister Joan Chittister puts it another way. The Bible, she says, instructs us again and again to slow down. And the ancient directive from Saint Benedict in the 6th century, which was written before light bulbs, before humanity could do much to extend the length of a day, speaks of people wearing down and wearing out. And now, centuries later, it still rings true. We drive ourselves relentlessly from one exhaustion to another. We pace our societies by the pace of our computers. We conduct the major relationships of our lives, both professional and personal, according to the speed of our communications. We measure ourselves, she says, by the amount of our productivity, and every day we become more exhausted, less rested in body, spirit, and mind, and so less capable of producing things, let alone of developing relationships as a result. That's not irony, that's tragedy. And we know it, yet we don't know what to do about it. My point, she concludes, is that the grind is destructive of both the person and the work. Unless a person can be refreshed enough to think, to create, to recoup its energy and interest in the work at hand, there's no way to process what we know, integrate what we learn, become the people who have lives worth living and work worth doing. There was a Washington Post article shared several years ago about an African American preacher in the DC area who announced his upcoming sabbatical from the pulpit. He said at one point, "When I started, I was working 7 days a week." A member of the church at that time, a longtime member, an older woman, said, "Why do you work every day?" And I said, "Well, the devil does not take a day off." And she said, "Why is the devil your role model?" Jesus models that we need to rest. She's not wrong. Jesus made it a regular practice to withdraw for rest and prayer. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus withdraws 6 times to deserted places to do only one thing: rest, allow his soul to catch up. Farther back in the Hebrew scriptures, in the story of the prophet Elijah, we find another role model of slowing down and resting in the presence of the holy. Now, Elijah was a busy prophet, known for his various attacks on what he saw as the wickedness of Ahab and Jezebel, and he was exhausted. The scripture says God prepared a resting place for him away from the pursuing armies, and in this hiding place, the ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning and bread and meat in the evening. And Elijah discovered that the Lord was not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but the Lord was in sheer silence. Now, this ancient story prompted a recent meme that sums up the whole of Elijah this way. This is your gentle reminder that one time in the Bible, Elijah was like, God, I am so mad I want to die. So God said, here's some food. Why don't you have a nap? So Elijah slept and ate and decided things weren't so bad. Never underestimate the spiritual power of a nap and a snack. It has been a practice in Unitarian Universalism and in most other faith traditions I know for ministers serving congregations over a long period of time to earn sabbatical, and that is true for us here. The wisdom is for ministers to take a sabbatical once during every 5 to 7 years of service. This is my 23rd year serving you. I have taken one sabbatical in 2010 for 4 months. 14 years later, you can say I'm a wee bit overdue. In typical multi-minister settings, the ongoing minister who's been with the congregation through the interim period would take a sabbatical during the first year of the newly settled ministry. With the forming of a co-minister team, that model didn't make sense for us. As Kelly and I have needed the last 2 years to learn how to live into co-ministry together, to learn how to work together, to allow co-ministry to expand and grow and take shape. Here, in our 3rd year, it is time. Much has changed in life and at FUS since 2010. It has been a time of great transition and change. Within these years, I have changed in spirit and in title twice. I became a parent for the 2nd time as we welcomed Owen into the world. I moved from minister of religious education to minister of congregational life to co-senior minister. I have celebrated so many joys: your weddings, the births of children, new jobs, seeing our youth launch into college and careers and return to tell us all about it. I have buried and grieved so many people we love, and I hold each of them in my heart and recall the goodness and the grace that they brought to our community. I have visited hospitals in good times and bad. I have held hands, cried with families, prayed with you, had those difficult conversations of, how do you want us to remember you? Let us tell you all the reasons we love you. I have sat across tables planning weddings and learning of divorces. For a time, I became an online preacher, delivering these messages to an empty room and learning how to interact only with a camera and with you only on a screen. I also became a completely unqualified epidemiologist as we planned what would happen week after week. Are we open? Are we closed? Are we masked? Are we not? How do we protect the most vulnerable? How do we stay together in community while we are so far apart? I have spent days, maybe weeks or more if I'm honest, in doubt and despair and the need to be here with you week after week with a word of hope and comfort amidst it all has been the one thing keeping me from defeat. We have made mistakes. We have forgiven. We have tried and tried again. We have grown, we have changed, and we've traveled faster than our souls can go. And now sabbatical, the gift and grace, an offering of time and space apart. Sabbatical takes a minister by the shoulders, as one of you so lovingly did recently, looks her in the eyes and says sternly and lovingly, I want you to slow down. There is a part of me that feels slightly like a petulant child who is being told to take a nap. Or told it is bedtime and she really isn't ready. It will be odd, hard some days to be away from you. There's much I will miss in our community. There's much I'm going to miss in your lives. And this is hard to hold. Yet this stepping away is a requirement. I realize that if I am to return to you any good. This job doesn't allow for an easy answer to the question of when it is right to take leave. This ministry, the calling to serve people in their wholeness, to accompany your days, to be a presence in your lives, is alive, persistent, and never-ending. The never-endingness of it all causes some of us to believe that we cannot leave. And yet, if we are supposed to be any kind of role model for caring for our spirits, for how we balance our work and rest, I need to ask what role model I'm following myself. Sabbaticals force ministers to let go. It reminds us that there is really so much not in our control. We're human, and we get caught up in the myth that our worth, our inherent worthiness, is attached to our productivity. I think I am the only one who can do things around here a certain way. I also know that we've been preparing for this moment for over a year, that our staff, that Kelly, that our sabbatical minister, Jim Fody, are ready. I know our board of trustees and ministry teams are prepared and well equipped to thrive while I am away. This is an opportunity to let go and to know that you all will grow and learn in new ways. We'll have someone here with fresh eyes to try new things that might not be possible otherwise. I've been asked the very logical question, what will you be doing for 6 months? I do have some things on the list. I mentioned them before in talking with the kids, but mostly I'm going to take the time to just be. Time for my body and heart and mind to process and integrate, rest and recover from all that's happened over the last few years. To do just one thing at a time. To allow my soul to catch up. To just be and to follow what comes from that. If you've attended a town hall in the past week, you know what we are facing financially as a congregation in the coming year. If you haven't yet heard about the staff restructuring that will begin July 1st, please watch the town hall video on our YouTube channel or attend the last town hall this coming Saturday. Let's be honest, there's no good time to take sabbatical. No perfect moment to interrupt the life of a vital, robust congregation and have a minister step away. And yet this moment feels particularly hard. It is most definitely not the perfect time, but that time doesn't exist. But it is time, And the truth is, you are in very good hands. You're going to be great. I think there is a deeper truth for the congregation to hold on to during sabbatical, and that is that this congregation, this ministry we share, is yours. It always has been and always will be. It is a mantle and a blessing that you have given to Kelly and myself, that we get to serve your ministry for the time that we have. The gift of a minister stepping away for a bit is that we all come to discover, and perhaps it's more a remembering, that the work of the congregation has always been yours to do and make real. When a minister steps outside the system for a bit, we all remember that the power of shaping and growing and determining this beautiful community that we hold dear is in every single one of us, and not just one of us. That power of creation has always been alive and thriving in each and every one of you. Sabbatical is a time of discovery or remembering or empowerment or digging in for you too. My colleague Teresa Soto wrote these words: "Where is life sending you? Here, now. Don't flinch. Where will you go? Across the street to learn the name of your neighbor? Across the city to support interfaith dialogue? To witness the practice of neighbors whose faith has different names, uses different words than yours? Is life calling you to come closer to the grief around you? Not with words, but with empathy and kind silence. Sometimes there's no fixing sadness, and we must instead weather it. But together we make the journey much more possible than alone. Where does life send you? To coffee hour, to start the brew? To a class, to accompany young students in experiencing everything that Unitarian Universalism can be for us, both as individuals and as people practicing together in community? Go where your heart pulls you. Catch up to that insistent call, to the thing that waits for you, the soft place where your talent can rest and your joy bubble up. Where is that place for you? The tasks of governance, practiced with care, as much as lighting any chalice, as crucial as singing any song. There is somewhere you can be. There is a yes for you from the universe. Whether your task is to work or to heal, to rest or to play, it is time to go where life sends you and be who you are meant to be. Until I see you again, be good to each other. Be good to Kelly. Check on him for me. Ask him how you can help. He's going to say he doesn't need anything. He does. Ask him again. Talk to one another. Talk to the new people with sticky name tags. Share your lives. Listen. Care. Show up. Gather. Be allies to the marginalized. Advocate for change. Stay present and open to what is broken. Be creative in the healing. Continue being a place of belonging for all, because we need one another, all of us. And may you remember, well, it all comes down to the message on this shirt. This pastor loves you. If there was writing on the back, it would say, she's going to miss you too. I'll see you in August. And until then, may we all go where life is sending us, to rest and to play, to be who we are meant to be. My love and my blessings go with you always.
Thank you for that beautiful music. I invite you into this time of giving and receiving, where we give freely and generously to this offering which sustains and strengthens our community here, and also our outreach offering recipient, who this week is the Dane Sanctuary Coalition. The DSC is a consortium of congregations and other organizations in the greater Madison area, prepared to provide physical sanctuary to our immigrant friends and neighbors who are at risk of deportation. Their effort is part of the new national sanctuary movement, and they also provide a conduit for information, education, and trainings on related social justice actions. FUS is a founding member of this coalition. There are multiple ways to share your gifts this morning. Baskets now being passed here in the auditorium for cash and checks, or as you will see on the screen, that you can donate directly from our website, fusmadison.org. You'll see our text to give information there as well. We thank you for your generosity and your faith in this life we create together.
We gather each week bringing with us the joys, the losses, the celebrations of our days. We share them here knowing they are held in love and in support. We light a candle of love and memory for Sally McBeath, who had to say goodbye to her beloved friend Snoopy. We know the hole these dear furry friends leave in our lives, and we send Sally our love as she remembers and misses Snoopy. And we light a candle for the caregivers among us, those who have in their care children, grandchildren, parents, spouses, partners, friends. We send them our love and strength. We pray they have places of refuge themselves and communities that care and hold them. And we light a candle for all those joys and sorrows, hopes and dreams that remain unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts and in the hearts of all those around the globe that are praying for peace and safety. May we enter now into an attitude of meditation and of prayer with these words from Kristen Green. Spirit of love and truth, help us to feel you in our breathing in and breathing out. Quiet our minds, if only for a moment. Still our bodies, if only for a moment. Soothe our souls in this holy moment. When uncertainty pervades, give us rest from worry. When fear rises, give us peace. When pain surfaces, give us a balm. Some of our spirits are weary. Some of our bodies feel fried. Some of our minds are frantic and uneasy. Spirit of life-giving love, remind us of the cycles of life so that we might turn toward the dawn, turn toward the thaw, turn toward a rebirth of spring with hope. Ignite hope within us so it burns brighter than our fears. May that bright hope shine for others to witness, that our faith might be a beacon and our love a lamp to light the way. May we be filled with gratitude. May we turn toward one another in the human family, always reminded of a greater love that holds us all. Blessed be, and amen.
There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding on. We rest in this love. Now please rise in body and or in spirit and sing together our closing hymn, number 128, For All That Is Our Life, in the gray hymnal. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Beloveds, may love guide you on your journey forward. May joy meet you at every turn, and may hope be your daily practice. May gratitude companion you, compassion embolden you, and open-hearted courage be your unending choice. May peace challenge you, generosity empower you, and may you know every day that you are enough exactly as you are, and you are not alone. Blessed be, go in peace, and please be seated for the postlude.